Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Farlands or Bust. Let's get out right away of the hidey hole and continue on. What did I do here? There we go. Oh gosh, this is a poorly constructed hidey hole. Creepers? Any creepers? No creepers. Okay. This is usually the point where the creeper jumps down on me and tries to blow me up. But yeah, let's grab Wolfie and let's continue west already. This way's west. This is episode 243 of Farlands or Bust, where we are walking to the far lands in Minecraft Beta 173. A little bit of a, yes, Wolfie knows, a little bit of a brief recap. I do have some questions, always, every single episode coming into the comments field where people, oh, I'm a new subscriber, this or that. What is this? Why is that? Why doesn't he have a hunger bar? Etc., etc. If you want to, head back to episode 240, just 4 episodes ago. Well, 3, I guess, technically, but I can count. If you want to go back to episode 240, I give a pretty good recap for the first half of that episode or so that tries to explain all the different things that are going on, that have happened, and why this, that, or the other. So check that out if you're just joining us in today's episode. You want to go back and check some things out. There's not too much continuity of, say, storyline or anything between episodes, but it's because I tend to just talk and answer questions. There's really no underlying narrative going on here other than that I'm just walking to the Farlands with Wolfie. Indeed. Passing up pumpkins, rather. Well, I guess the one narrative is that I can't speak. You're listening to a YouTube Let's Player who has problems creating words out of his mouth. But despite that, I am always very impressed and surprised at how much generosity and support we're getting for Child's Play charity over at farlandsorbust.com. We're up another couple $100 from the last episode. We're up to $24,353.76. That's amazing, all going directly to Child's Play charity. I think by the end of the next week, if we're staying on the current trend, we will have 25%, $25,000 of our total $100,000 goal for this season. And like I said, there should be... Whoa, that guy survived that fall. Well done, guy. The sheep. I'm talking about the sheep in the distance. We will have some sort of 25% milestone thank you special out of the ordinary video or something happen. I may or may not have already plans for that. I don't have any plans whatsoever. I'm a little bit scared. But yeah, that should be happening. Should be. ... No, I want to do something, so yeah, if we get up to 25%. Use the little donation widget thingamabobber on the homepage of Farlands or Bust. And yeah, I really do appreciate all the donations. Keeps me going, keeps me motivated. And as time continues to pass, happy May. That's the end of that sentence. I know it's... I ended it with an uptick of my voice. It sounded like I was going to continue that thought, but no, happy May. It is May 1st. How on earth did that happen? I don't know where the time goes. It is May 1st, 2013. And, whoa, don't fall. And already, it's, oh, I could attempt, where's my bucket of water? Well, I'm just going to end up picking those things back up. Let's try. I want it to spread as much as possible for maximum cushionage. Yeah, that's going down. All right, let's grab the water and... very gingerly. Yes, Wolfie, are you doing correct with the water? Perhaps you'll just spawn down here. Hooray, it works. Woof. What was I trying to say? Oh yeah, it's May 1st, and already here in the Chicagoland area where I am currently located, it's like summer. It's like 80 degrees. I think like last week or 2 weeks ago we had snow flurries at some point. But now it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, for the rest of the world with common sense units of measure, is 27 degrees Celsius. Pretty dang hot for suddenly, like all of a sudden, bam, heat. Hot out. Air conditioning on. And I know some people put your air conditioning on, it's only 80 degrees. My unit is very... unit in which I live. My unit in which I live is a rather warm place, being on the upper floors. Heat rises, also being a little bit more exposed to the sun's heat. It generally, even though it's 80 degrees out, it could probably midday get above if I didn't do anything active to change the temperature of the inside of my home. Oh my gosh, speaking of temperature, let's go this way, Wolfie. Whoa, this is a crazy place. Oh, Wolfie agrees. If I didn't do anything, it would easily get above 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Which I don't know. Do the conversion yourself for the Celsius on that. It's hot! Very warm. So I've had to enable the air conditioning for the first time of the year. And so far, so good. So yeah. That's... Ooh, lots of lava around here. That's pretty crazy. I suppose it was nice while it lasted, having 4 distinctly separate seasons, but such is not the case anymore. We go straight from winter, snow a few weeks ago, to suddenly summer. It's going to be a thing of the past. You will tell your grandchildren with great memories of these things called fall and autumn. No more. We go straight from winter to summer in our little temperate climate area that we live. Thanks, Obama. No. That's a funny meme. I enjoy it. Boop. So yeah, oh, easy guy. Oh, you almost did it again. Blunk. And then you're just going to stay there. Enjoy your little island, Wolfie. See you in the far lands. So yeah, that's the only thing I've noted, really. I mean, that's not much else has happened in my life, other than the fact it's May and it's warm out all of a sudden. Although I think it's supposed to cool down a little bit, like back down to the 40s and 50s. We're flirting between winter and summer. It's a flirtatious relationship we have with the weather. Alright, so let's get Wolfie to spawn without running into him. Blunk. Woof! Right, Wolfie, what? You have something you want to say? Do you? Any addition? Blunk. Ooh. I'm waiting for him to bark. There we go. Oh, wait, that didn't work. Hold on, I had this whole... See, this is why I don't have narrative in Far Lands of Us, because I'm terrible at it. I had a plan! I'm waiting. Oh, goodness. What's that, Wolfie? You're very excited to tell us something. Are you not? Hello? Yes, you are excited to tell us something. Perhaps you have a new Wolfie tunes for today? Oh wait, that's the Minecraft news sound effect. There is no theme song to Wolfie tunes. It is the tunes themselves. So yeah, a little bit ago, I don't know, 5 or so episodes ago, I decided, like Beefy tunes, Vintage Beef does every once in a while. He'll refer you guys to some music he's listening to. Wolfie tunes, very similar. This time, I'm very interested in a new song from Beach House called Wishes. I heard of it on the YouTube. The video has gone somewhat viral. It's a very unusual... Well, if you've ever seen any previous Beach House videos, all of their music videos are incredibly unusual and very... just strange, but in a good way, like purposefully strange. But yeah, this one, Wishes, the video was directed by Eric Wareheim, is that how you say his name? From Tim and Eric. Awesome show, great job, that Eric, so you can already assume what you're in for. But just the song itself I enjoy. You know, even if I'm not listening to the video, or watching the video rather, the song itself is actually quite good. Almost a little sad, to be honest with you, but it's a good song. So check out by Beach House Wishes. Good song indeed. Something I listen to on and off. It's hard to listen to music. Whoop. Obviously, when you're playing video games, but then also when, you know, when I'm not playing the video game, I'm editing and stuff like that. So I need to actually listen to the audio of the game or the commentary or whatever that I'm doing. So I can't much, unlike when I used to do web design, you know, I could just code, design in Photoshop and listen to music or whatever. You can't do that here. It's kind of one of the things I miss, I suppose, but everything else I've gained for it in return is much better than that, right, Wolfie? You are uncooperative today. Uncooperative at best. Let's go sleep. Well, yeah, that he agreed to. And a Wolfie tunesness. Indeed. I'll probably forget to put a link in the video description, but if I do, that's where it'll be for Wishes by Beach House. And segue, in that video, there's kind of an unusual theme of imagery of horses. Don't ask, just watch the video. And that is a grand old segue to a question I got on one of the last videos of mine. Somebody that you've never heard of ever before on my channel, Lorgon111, asked, I hear there will be horses in Minecraft in the future. Kurt, have you ever ridden a horse in real life or any other large animal experiences to share? Lorgon111 with the open-ended questions, prompting story time with KurtJMac. So yeah, horses are coming to Minecraft. They're already in the snapshot, and there is a growing what's the word I'm looking for? Mission, push, just an interest on the Minecraft server, since we are on the snapshots that include horses, to go out and try to find horses. I don't believe anybody has found a horse on the Minecraft server yet, except for vintage beef, or perhaps that was simply a mirage. Nobody knows. You'll have to check out Vintage Beef's videos to know what I'm talking about there. But yeah, horses are now in the game. I mean, just to briefly, I'll answer the question. But briefly, it's interesting. I'm always interested in new things being added to the game of Minecraft. Obviously, we will not see such things here in Farlands or Bust because we are sticking to beta 1.7.3. Oh, hello. But horses are in, and it definitely is a lot better than riding pigs, obviously, but horses, I'm interested, possibly, if I ever, you know, I'm not much of a builder, and the building projects I do undertake on the Minecraft server are in perpetual incompletion, but I would like to try, it would be nice to try, like, racing with horses. I know it's probably a little bit derpy and not exactly, you know, like, I don't think you can't give your, well, maybe you can give your horses, like, speed buffs and stuff like that, but you can't, like, trade, you know, horses. I don't think different horses have different speeds or abilities or anything like that. Really, I don't think, but I could be wrong. But it would be interesting to make, like horse racing a thing, and I would think to make, like, a racetrack, and not really just, like, a circle track like most like actual horse racing goes, but like an actual, I'm thinking of Formula 1, the Formula 1 type tracks where there's like weaves and turns and straightaways and things, and make like an actual thing like that on the Minecraft server. That would be fun. Obviously, like, because they're horses, there would have to be jumps and things and obstacles or water traps and stuff. But that seems like that would be fun to do with horses. Because, I mean, obviously there's nothing you could do that with now, except maybe pigs, although not really, because they're extremely disobedient and not very fast. And, you know, you can't really do them with mine carts. There could be boat racing, I suppose, would be a thing. But I don't... God, why has nobody created, like, a very complex boat racing? Maybe they have, I just haven't seen them, but that would be something interesting to do. But again, boats are pretty derpy in and of themselves, so floating tree. So yeah, that part in terms of Minecraft I'm looking forward to. As far as real life, have I ever ridden a horse? Yes, but no. When I was, when you're little, I don't know if you guys have these. They're kind of, they're not quite full-on amusement parks, but they're kind of like little kiddie, like for little kids, the farm type of, almost carnival-ish, but farm, or the petting zoo, almost like a petting zoo, but they have like the 4 or 5 horses that are tied up to like a carousel, which is just, I feel very bad for the horses in retrospect. They're not like huge, full-size horses, ponies perhaps, and then, okay, the kid, wait in line, and then you get to ride the horse around in a circle, a very small, tiny circle for a little bit. I remember doing that and being terrified. I was always worried that the saddle would fall off. Being atop a horse, they're not solid objects, so they kind of sway back and forth, and you don't quite trust that the saddle is going to stay upright and you're going to fall down. And as a kid, that seems like a great distance to fall from atop a horse. So that I've done, but I don't know that counts. As more of an adult, when I did travel to Mexico once, I was on farmland. Don't tell the Department of Travel. Who's that? Immigration? No, not immigration. Who are the people that you have to fill out the little form for on the airplane? Have you been to any farms? Check yes or no. Wolfie knows. Those people. Don't tell those people. But yeah, and they had a very small horse and a donkey. I guess I picked the short straw and got to ride the donkey, but that's the first and only time I've ridden a horse-like animal that has not been tied up. Like, that was free and around like a field in an open area. And, like, I had control of him. Or her, I don't even remember what it was. And, like, kind of nudging its sides might go faster, and pulling on its reins might go slower, and also, like, steering a horse seems weird. It just seems like it wants to do whatever it wants. How could you possibly tell it what to do? But, yes, I rode a donkey. Even as an adult, I still had the perpetual fear that the saddle would flip upside down and I would fall. Just because it doesn't feel stable. But also, donkeys are kind of small, and I am quite tall, so it was a little bit of a size mismatch there. The running joke was that I could have probably stood up on the ground whilst still sitting in the saddle. Oh, that was close. Woof. So that was the running joke there. But yeah, that's the only time, really, with that. I really didn't have that many experiences with larger, or any animals for that matter, because I have family members who are deathly allergic to animal hair and dander due to their asthma. They would stop breathing is basically what would happen if you're around animals, and farm animals and horses in particular, I think, are especially not good for that. So not too many experience with large animals in that regard. I mean, I've been to zoos and stuff, but my only other experience, I guess you could say, with a large animal, I didn't ride it or touch it or play with it or anything, but went on vacation to the Dominican Republic, and I went on a humpback whale watching excursion, I guess you could call it. There's a bay, I forgot the name of the bay, that during the migrations, they hang out in the bay. Because I guess it's warm and calm or something like that, and saw some humpback whales from a distance. We didn't get terribly close. There were a couple times where it's right on the side of the boat, and I'm like, okay, those are much larger than they seem from a distance. But yeah, we got a couple cool ones jumping out of the water and stuff like that. Also got very sick. Also found out that I'm not much for being in small boats on choppy waters. So Kurt cannot be a sailor. At least on small vessels. I suppose the large vessels are a little bit more stable on the seas, but yeah, those are really my only experience with large animals, I guess is what the second part of that question was from Brian. What was I going to say? Oh, I will say that when I was playing Shadow of the Colossus, just playing that game makes you want to learn how to ride a horse. It's like, horses seem so awesome. You kind of have a bond, at least with that horse in the game, and you know, that's a game where when you're riding the horse, that game makes it feel like you're, you know, sometimes when you're playing a game, it's like, oh, you jump on a horse and suddenly you're controlling a horse like it's a car or something like that. But that game, you had to actually do the whole leg kick thing and kind of steer the horse, and sometimes it really wouldn't respond to your inputs, and you'd have to get a little bit more stern with the horse to get it to go where you want it to go. And but yeah, it was a good game indeed. Boop. Enough. So thank you very much for that question, Lorgon111. Whoever you may be. Let's get to... I'd like to get to... get to the next... Look at the size of this snow biome, by the way. Get to the next hidey hole. Trying to look at some there are I have a lot of questions backed up. This whole thing, Ask Me Questions in the donations box, has not only helped donations to Child's Play charity, but has also given me a lot to talk about and a lot of things to answer. So I've probably gotten your question, I just haven't gotten to it if it's been a while. So let's, before we do that, make the elevated hidey hole. Woof. For those of you who ask why I make the elevated hidey hole, it's because in this version of the game, it just doesn't say, there are monsters nearby, you cannot sleep. This version of the game, if a monster could spawn within 3 blocks of your bed, it will wake you up and there will suddenly be a zombie on top of you trying to kill you. So this way, it keeps me 3 blocks off of the ground, and obviously there's just air around me, so mobs can't spawn around here. But usually, I could probably sleep on the ground if I went to sleep sooner than I am right now, and it's not as dark, but that is why the elevated hidey hole is a thing. Let's go to sleep. And awakeness. Indeed. Whoop. Melting snow. Sudden creeper. Let's see. Let's take a question from donators. Here we go. This is one I could actually talk significantly about. It's back to the self-referential talking about YouTube type of answer, but those are good every once in a while. From a donator, Elzorath. You sound like some sort of Greek god. Greek god of donating to Child's Play charity. Elzorath asked if YouTube were to disappear. There it goes. That's the noise it's going to make. If YouTube were to disappear. I lost the question. So many questions. Do you think you would continue Farlands or Bust via your website or competitors? I would definitely try to. I mean, the thing with YouTube is that there's an audience here. And that is why YouTube is as significant as it is and dominates the internet video, I guess, platform by users. And that is why we use YouTube, obviously, and it obviously provides partnerships and support for its content creators, so that's good, despite the problems we might have in the eventual... Yeah, when is... I thought they were going to force us into the new channels in March, and it's now May, and that has not happened. Or at least I don't think so. I should probably check my channel. But I know that if you switch to the new channel design now, that you cannot go back, so I should probably figure that out eventually, but regardless... For what problems they do have, we certainly let them know about it. And it's still the only really platform that's working right now. But if it, let's just say, if it were to disappear, I would definitely try to find a way to continue at least Farlands or Bust. If anything, for the Child's Play charity thing, and also just to keep it going. You know, it's Farlands or Bust. We don't want to bust, we want to Farlands. So... I would try that. Hosting it on my own website would be very difficult due to space limitations. Like I said, I don't know how large the file size of all the 243 episodes of Farlands or Bust are, but it's possibly in the terabytes, because each video is about, before I upload it to YouTube, is about 4 gigabytes or so. Quick, do the math. I can't. So there's that aspect of it. Also the bandwidth aspect. Obviously, if we were to suddenly, YouTube was to disappear, I'm assuming that all 180,000 of my subscribers would not follow me elsewhere. So there would definitely be a loss of viewership there. So I would definitely be looking for an alternate service to host these things. It would also be a lot more convenient for you guys, instead of, you know, just having to deal with whatever derpy system I would come up with for video delivery. But yeah, I don't see that happening, at least in the all too near future. Like I said, YouTube as it is. I know, is it Hank? Yeah, Hank Green of the Vlog Brothers has been making quite a few videos. He even, I think, started a Tumblr all about what he feels the direction YouTube is going, and thoughts on partnerships and content creation and, excuse me, advertising and revenue and things like that. And he says, as long as like YouTube doesn't anger the creators too much, as long as the creators are here, then YouTube will be successful, and the audience will just come because the creators, the content producers are here. There are things that make us angry every once and again, like I said, but we try to notice when they change things for the better for us. There is the issue that they are seeming to cater a little bit more towards the big content, the professional content, the networks, the TV shows, trying to get more Hulu-esque in the movies and things. And that, while worrying, the vast majority of the YouTube content still is user-created. It's more about creation than consumption, let me say that much. That's I think the phrase that Hank used. And as long as that's the case, it will always be what it is, hopefully. Wolfie agrees. So yeah, as long as they stay YouTube and not TheyTube, basically, they being the big content producers with the budgets and the highly paid actors and production and stuff like that, that would be good. I'm not personally too big of a fan of the machinimas, and I don't see what purpose those sort of partnership networks serve. It's still yet to be seen whether or not these not bigger channels, but funded channels, kind of like the Nerdists and the Geek and Sundries and things, while it still has the air of user-created content. It's obviously been funded, and it's a lot bigger production quality, and it's a little bit hard as just a one person to compete with stuff like that. So as long as they keep a balance, let's say that much. Obviously, they're doing what's in their best interest and their investors' best interest, I guess you could say. I know Hank was talking about he feels that there needs to be a new method of, not so much monetization is probably not the right word, but revenue, I guess, because he doesn't feel that advertising is really a sustainable method, especially for the user-created content. If you look at television, the big difference between web video and mass media television in terms of the revenue they can achieve is the saturation of commercials and advertising. If you're watching, for those of you who watch, say, your TV shows on Netflix, or you get the DVDs, you'll know that like a half-hour TV show, when you take out all the commercials and you just have the episode on a DVD, is like, if you're lucky, 17 minutes long. So it's almost a 1-to-1 ratio of advertising versus content that you're getting when you're watching like a network television show. And it's just the money that they can get from that then funds these larger projects and these series and things like that. So you don't get that in web video, because if you look at the ratios, I have a 35-minute or whatever episode of Far Lands of Bust here, or Mindcrack, or Kerbal Space Program, or whatever. You might get a 15 or 30-second advertisement at the beginning that you possibly could even skip. So the ratio is much different there, and it wouldn't be that great of a thing to try to match the ratios that network television has, simply because on the internet the attention span isn't there. You don't have a captive audience. So that's never going to work. So that's why Hank was looking at, well, you know, there's kind of a crucial balance that we have to match here, and maybe it could be more of a, maybe not a subscription model, maybe like a microtransaction model, like when you click the like button on a video, that then, you know, you have a certain, you know, account or amount per day, and then, you know, for every like that a video gets, the creator gets 8 cents or something like that, you know, and that, you know, it's more supported by the viewers as opposed to supported by these somewhat innocuous and faceless advertising, what's the word I'm looking for, relationships or setups or stuff like that. Am I making any sense? This is where I start to trail off into strange unknown territories, of which I have not done that much research or thinking about beyond what are the words that are coming out of my mouth. So I should probably tread lightly. But yeah, I would definitely, I don't know that I would obviously be able to support being able to make other videos as frequently as I do, but Far Lands or Bust, simply for the pure adventure, I guess you could say, the journey, the continued purpose of Far Lands or Bust, would continue it, and also obviously the charity. So yeah, I would definitely want to do that at the very least, very least, because I do love this thing that I do. Have a seat, Wolfie. We've reached the end of the episode. We've got this very convenient wall that we can turn into the final hidey hole of the day. I guess continuing my thought from earlier with the elevated hidey hole. Sure, I could just create an elevated hidey hole here and end the episode, but it leads to much more of a closure. There's a spot where I can actually rest without having to worry about getting attacked by evil mobs. Evil mods? I always call them evil, I don't know why, but hostile mobs that ending in a full 6x6, or what is this, 3x3x3 cube, gives a little bit more of a sense of closure, and gives me time to say things like, keep going to farlandsorbust.com to contribute to Child's Play charity. There is a little donate button on the end slate of these videos that you can click that will take you directly to farlandsorbust.com. The widget is right there on the home page. All of the funds go straight and directly to Child's Play charity, helping get toys, books, and games to kids in hospitals around the world. I do appreciate all the support for that, and all of the support for Far Lands or Bust, my channel, YouTube in general. Keep being the amazing audience that you are, and perhaps get inspired to, instead of just be a consumer of the content on YouTube, be a creator. Make it YouTube and not just US-tube, because that is what this is all about, and that, my friends, will ensure that YouTube does not go away. That is my conclusion. Thank you very much. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time.